Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Boyle again. I just wanted to follow up, as I promised, with the second video. Um, Unlike the first, where I'm introducing myself and giving you kind of an overview of the course in a more conceptual way, I wanted to show you a little bit about the course environment. So this won't be too long, but it's just some basic kind of tips and overviews about where to find information in the course. You're looking at E231D1. It may be that you're in English 231D2, but the same principles apply. So what we're going to really concentrate on is how you find the information, the assignments that you need, and again, a reminder to reach out to me if you have any questions, okay? So first and foremost, you'll notice up here in the right-hand corner, which is kind of everybody's little admin drop-down window. Yours looks different from mine, but everybody has that, and you can kind of personalize that and put, your own little picture in there. As I mentioned before, I have one of my pup Chevy showing up there, so I can identify that this is indeed my dashboard. I urge you to go through and look at some of these, your grades. You can adjust your profile. In fact, we may do this, work on the profile portion of this together as we get further into class. You can adjust your preferences and that kind of thing. The other thing that I've done here, if you notice, is that I have myself tested out in this environment as a student, which means I'm seeing exactly what you would see if you're enrolled in the course, okay? So as we go along, there'll be some other features that I'll add in to this right-hand menu over here. You'll see that we have some recent activities and course updates, you'll see upcoming events as assignments become due or due dates get closer. But I'll be putting a social media feed in here too that we'll have available to us. This course menu will be available to you and fully active, but I encourage you to just even really focus on the center of this, okay? It gives you kind of a visual anchor point in terms of where to go. Your dashboard, this is my dashboard, my courses, all your courses over here. You can use a little click of the button like this. Whoops. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hang on a minute. There we go. It's the menu bar up here. And you can make that go away. And you can bring it back at any time if you need to go back and look at other courses or to have a quick link back to your dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and move that out of the way right now so that we have before us the central kind of navigation feature of the course. If you notice in my first video, I talked about the information and the tasks that you'll need to do before the end of the second week of courses. We're in kind of an odd situation here because we have 3 days at the beginning of the course semester, right? Courses start on a Wednesday, and so we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I want to give you a chance to get started on that. But we're going to have some overlap in that the activities that you need to do to stay in the class, which are the eLearn survey. And if you take the syllabus quiz, you'll have this down. The syllabus quiz and that very first post where you're just introducing yourselves. Okay, it's simply just answering the questions and posting to the discussion forum. Those need to be done by the second week. But once we merge into the second week of class, we'll be working on content too. So I'll send some reminders and lay this information out. But the most important thing to remember is that we'll start work on the content in the course the second week of the semester, okay, which is, right, the 26th through to the 30th, right? But you can get started on the 21st all the way through that weekend in getting done with those 3 basic things that you have to have done in order to stay enrolled in the course, which are, again, going to getting started, which is where we would start. The e-learning survey, right? So you'll click on this assessment tool and it'll take you through a quick assessment. This is meant to help you. It's not really graded in any way. It's just meant to help you get comfortable with understanding where you are in terms of your preparation for taking an online class. This is especially helpful for people who maybe haven't taken a lot of online classes. Okay. The other thing I want to point out, all right, I'm going to click up here because I want to show it to you right here, is these little navigation buttons. These buttons, whenever this is shaded here, means that there's another place to go in the book. And really, each one of these little areas is kind of a book. So if you're getting, if I've asked you, as I have, to go through the Getting Started module, you'd start here, and then you'd click here, and you notice that this highlights next because we're in the kind of second chapter here. And this is just some information on online learning support, who to reach out to if you need to get a hold of computing services at any point, for any help with Moodle. I can sometimes help with those situations as well, but it's always good to know kind of where the techies are, right? Again, clicking on this, right, takes you to student support services, the bookstore, accessibility and disability services. These are all things I just want you to kind of be aware of, know where they are, understand that the links exist, and they can take you to important areas of information that you may need as you work through the course. And of course, later on, we will be doing some work with Kimball Library, and Kimball Library resources are all laid out here as well. It's important to remember that as long as you have a dark shaded arrow over here and the arrow's pointing this way, it means you still have places to go in a given module. And this is going to be important, as I'll show you in a minute when we get to the place where we're actually doing our work each week, the weekly assignment modules. Okay, and then finally, it tells you, hey, you've gotten to where you need to be, and the next steps are for you to start posting and to work on the assignment. So it's going to send you back up now to the main menu, right? And here we are again, right? And I want you to think about this as just kind of working through these like clockwork, okay? The next thing is going to be course information. And there I am in a rather unattractive action shot. But there is the video that I've also linked into my introduction email to you that I want you to watch, right? Additional information. And again, right, and you want to watch this video all the way through. There's important information. It's my opportunity to introduce myself. But again, we have these at the top and the bottom, these navigation buttons. And here we are at the course syllabus right now. This link will allow you to download a copy of the syllabus, all right? And then that information is also copied into this environment, okay? And it has some relevant links in it as well that take you back, kind of hyperlink. We're going to talk about that concept in this class, to other parts of the course, okay? Again, there's that all-important syllabus quiz, right? And that syllabus quiz will be made available on the 21st. You'll be able to access it after the 21st, and you should read the syllabus in full before you take your syllabus quiz, okay? And then finally, the last, if you click all the way down here, and you can always use the table of contents to navigate as well, I'll have a very basic outline of the course schedule. But of course, the real place that we want to find anything that's having to do with the course on a weekly basis, okay, is weekly modules. All right. Weekly assignments is just a kind of extra place to make sure that you've done all the assignments each week, but your modules are where everything happens of importance each week. So, for example, here we are in week 1, and this module already has laid out for you the objectives for this week and your tasks. What are your tasks? Well, you're going to review, just like I showed you, the Getting Started and the Course Information modules. Okay, and you want to look at all the documents there. If some of the things like we saw in Getting Started are just information links, you don't have to memorize those. I just want you to know where those are at. Okay, the most important information is going to be in the Course Information module, and of course in that e-learning survey and Getting Started. Okay, but here we are. You've got a course syllabus, again linked in, okay, that I want you to read through, and it's going to help you with that quiz, right? your weekly discussion post assignments. This is an overview of what they look like. I'm going to want you to look at that document, okay? And then a sample weekly discussion post. And I recommend you download these because this is going to, kind of make up a good chunk of our work, right? These weekly post assignments. They will change up, as I said in my video. We'll be doing some other kinds of tasks, and I'll be giving you information on those. But this is really important information before you start really posting after the self-introductions. When we get into our real work in week 2, you'll want to really look over these documents, right? And then again, I remind you to look over my video. This video will be posted there too, right? And then here are the things you do, right? And these will be under the assignment area too, just to make sure if you're, one of these people that wants to make sure that you've, dotted your I's and crossed your T's. I'll show you that last little section in the interface where you can go back and check. But these are the 2 things that you're going to click on to make sure you do. One is the syllabus quiz, right? Where you're going to go through and actually sort of take the quiz on the syllabus. I'll remind you that this is not, meant to like sort of score you up and down. It's informational. So you can take it as many times as you need to make sure that you get 5 points, because we want to make sure that you understand exactly, what you're doing in the course. And then finally, that week 1 discussion post, which is not the kinds of posts we'll be doing for our content. This is mainly just an opportunity for you to introduce yourself to the class. These are basic tasks to get us going, and I'm also using these per the university to establish who's staying in the course. So it's really important that you make sure, especially for week 1, you've looked through all this information, and that then you make sure that you have, you've done the syllabus quiz and the week 1 discussion. And, right, if we go back to course information, if we go back to this getting started, that you've taken that survey as well, right? But if you go through these in sequence, it's pretty straightforward. It'll take you kind of, as you move, like I said, clockwise through the various little interfaces here. Again, weekly assignments is just going to be an area where you go back to make sure that your assignments, all the assignments that are under a given week, are taken care of. It's kind of a final check for you. It's a way to go back and say, oh, I read the assignments, but I forgot to do that assignment. You can go back and make sure that you've actually submitted that assignment under weekly assignments. All right, if you have any questions, please be in touch with me. I can answer questions on email, or we can kind of go over this stuff in a different format if need be. I will send you another outline with all this information. I think it's really important when we're getting started for us to kind of, reinforce and repeat things. I think once we get into our regular business, it's going to be pretty straightforward, because you're just going to click on welcome to week 2, welcome to week 3. All of your assignments, all of your readings, all of the viewings will be available in these weekly modules, and things will just kind of move like clockwork, I hope. Okay? Again, be in touch with any questions, and I hope this has been a little bit of a help in navigating the advanced template in Moodle. And that's what we're working with here, as a kind of more graphical interface, which gives us this kind of little center navigational anchor here. All right, talk to you soon.